All right, guys. Game's wrapping up right now. About 29 seconds to go. We're gonna get into some of the stats here in just a second. I may have too many lights on. Let me see if I can cut that down. That might help a little bit. So Alabama takes the knee. Georgia has no timeouts, and that's the ball game. So same score as I think the 2020 game, 24-41. Wow, the game was exciting for a while, but Georgia just could not keep up. So, story of the night is Georgia's defense never really got off the bus. Georgia got absolutely destroyed in the second quarter. They scored 24 points. Georgia only scored 14. The game really got out of hand quickly for Georgia after that. I think at one point there was 5 consecutive drives where Alabama scored. Stetson Bennett really struggled in this game. This was very poor game planning, in my opinion, by the Georgia coaching staff, especially the offensive side. Man, it was just this was just unacceptable performance, really. What you're looking at is Stetson Bennett, who's really only thrown over 20 passes a couple of times in his career. The game plan was to come out and throw the ball 44 times, apparently, for a 65% completion rating, averaging 7.3 yards, 3 touchdown passes, one of which was on the 2-yard line, and 2 interceptions. His longest pass all game was 37 yards. That's not going to cut it against an Alabama style team. It's just not. Stetson Bennett at 5'11", 190 pounds. I understand that the Georgia coaching staff wants this guy to be the big go-to guy, but because he can scramble. But John Gibson says Bennett has never won a game where he has thrown more than 27 times. I absolutely believe that stat. This is a clear indication for those of us that have been a JT Daniels fan as to why JT Daniels should have played. Alabama was not intimidated by Georgia. They came out and they played hard all game long. Georgia had a chance to win this game early on. At one point, Georgia had according to the simulator here that ESPN has, right on an 83% chance to win the game. And then after that, it was all downhill. First quarter, we get a field goal out of Podlesny. Then Georgia gets a touchdown. Alabama gets a touchdown. Alabama gets a touchdown. Alabama gets a field goal. Georgia gets a touchdown. Alabama gets a touchdown. Now, Georgia's defense did adjust accordingly in the third quarter. Did well in the first quarter, did well in the third quarter, but that second quarter just absolutely killed Georgia. That's really what put the game away. They were consistently keeping drives alive. On the stat side of the board, Georgia put up 449 yards, 536 yards in total offense for Alabama. Time of possession was favored by Georgia. Georgia had the ball for 34 minutes, Alabama only 25. UGA even had more first downs, 30 first downs to 25 first downs. But the fact is that Georgia just could not consistently score when it needed to, couldn't convert when it needed to. Painful and hard to watch, frustrating and very much annoying to see that the Georgia's defense was not prepared. I don't understand how Georgia's defensive coaching staff knew that this was the team we were going to be playing all year and would not accommodate for this. Zero Cool asked, what in the heck is going on with JT? I don't know, but he never even grabbed his helmet. They never had him warm up. They never had him throw. Terrible. Grayman says, do y'all even beat Cincinnati? Not playing like that, you won't. You won't beat much of anybody. Laughing out loud. Kirby is trolling us. He puts in 5'9" Stetson Bennett out there time after time. I don't understand what the deal is here as far as putting in a quarterback who's having that kind of performance in big games. I understand that some people like the story, but the story is that you lose. So Georgia's third down efficiency was 3 for 12, which was 33%, or 25%. Not that great. Alabama converted 50% of the time. This is what I was talking about, the offense not converting when it needed to. Georgia went for it on fourth down 4 times, only got it twice. Total passing yards, 340 yards passing, which is the most yards Stetson Bennett has ever thrown for. Then you've got Bryce Young throwing for 421. I mean, on paper, you might say 340 yards, that's really good for Stetson Bennett. No, it was not what we needed, especially throwing the interceptions. That absolutely killed us. Georgia and Alabama both rushed about the same, 109 to 115 yards. Average per rush was about the same, 3.6 to 4.4. We all kind of suspected that. I was a little bit upset with this decision to stop running the ball. Georgia at one point was running the ball very well. I think it was in the early in the first quarter, or might have been early in the third, but we stopped running the ball altogether, and it just became unattainable. You always find a way to play the wrong quarterback. You know what? You're right. We got multiple 5-stars sitting on the bench, and we played a 3-star walk-on. And Georgia is a great team. I agree, but coaching staff plays a part of it. UGA defense is overrated. I disagree with that, sir. You're just playing against a really well-prepared defensive-minded team. Shane M, thanks for the super chat, sir. He says, Kirby may be a great coach, but not getting another quarterback ready is very questionable. I absolutely agree. And we've seen this previously out of Kirby Smart. There seems to be some real problems with picking a proper quarterback. Zero Cool says, we got this, Dog Nation. It's not over yet. No, certainly not over yet. It is likely that Georgia will still be in the college football playoff. However, with this kind of performance, it's very upsetting and frustrating. Georgia didn't score any points in the third quarter. If Georgia would have picked up a touchdown there, it would have been a little more respectable. But, a 17-point loss, and you're supposed to be the number 1 team in the nation. Georgia gave up more points to Alabama than I think they had in any 4 or 5 games combined. So absolutely ridiculous. Congratulations to Alabama for winning the SEC championship. Yeah. Kirby is too stubborn. I can agree with that statement. What's good, BDB? Not much DSA. Really appreciate you guys being on here. We're simulcasting this on my channel, on the Voice of College Football SEC, and Voice of College Football on Georgia. So go over and subscribe to the Voice of College Football, Mark Rogers. You can just type in Mark Rogers TV in the search bar, and you can find him. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Really appreciate you guys helping us out. Obviously, very devastating to Georgia fans. Georgia really wanted to win this year, and it's not over yet. But you gotta look at this game and go, unacceptable. Unacceptable. No pass rush at all. John Gibson is absolutely right. I don't even know that there was any sacks. Let me look at team stats or box score, excuse me. Let's see. Georgia rushing. James Cook had 38 yards, which was not a ton. George Pickens caught 2 passes for 41 yards. He was averaging 20 yards a catch, but we only threw the ball to him like twice. Brock Bowers had a monster game, 10 receptions, 139 yards. Jameson Williams had 7 receptions for 184 yards. See the difference here. John Mechie had a pretty good game, 6 receptions for 97 yards. Slade Bolden, he did well. The rushing game, Brian Robinson Jr., which, even though the guy was injured, he had 16 carries. So the guy played with a lot of heart. Let me see if I can find. I absolutely hate that ESPN does that. I'm looking at the let's get the team stats maybe. Let's see if I can find it here. Nope, I don't see it. I don't see sacks. I was trying to find the sack number. I don't think Georgia sacked the quarterback even one time. You have to have a 5-star quarterback to beat Nick Saban. You're not going to beat Saban with an average quarterback. I agree. I think that's pretty apparent. Georgia had plenty of opportunity to win this game. We have 5-star quarterbacks on the roster, a 5-star quarterback on the bench, one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the nation, who has thrown for over 400 yards before and had a high completions percentage doing it. And who do we play? Stetson Bennett. And once again, Stetson Bennett struggled and fell apart. If you go back to whenever there was a game, I think it was last year, Stetson Bennett was out there struggling. They put JT Daniels in. Offense that starts running like a well-oiled machine immediately. Don't understand why we didn't put him in. What up, Brett? Good game. See y'all again. Definitely Tim first. We will certainly see you guys again soon. Yeah, I think we had 0 sacks on Bryce, which makes no sense. That tells me that our defense was woefully ill prepared. Antoine Hicks says, why should Becker Vandegrift stick around for this with Gunnar Stockton coming on in? How does anyone trust Kirby to pick the right guy? Well, I think if the only guys you have on the team are 5-star guys, eventually you got to play a 5-star guy, right? Oh man, this is failure of, in my opinion, of epic proportion. Kirby Smart certainly had an opportunity here to play a better quarterback earlier in the season, and people kept getting on the Stetson Bennett train, and I'm inclined to believe it's the same people that were on the Jake Fromm train. Jake Fromm, good quarterback. Justin Fields, better. Stetson Bennett, good quarterback. JT Daniels, better. And if you're going to beat elite teams, you got to have an elite quarterback. Look at what Bryce Young did tonight. Bryce Young took his team, and I'll even pull the stat real quick. Let me see it. Let's see. He threw for right at 60% tonight, but when he needed to convert, he converted. The third down efficiency, 7 for 14, and throws for, he threw for 421 yards. 421 yards passing. I mean, he did everything he needed to do. Do you think that sealed Bryce for the Heisman? It should. I mean, when you beat the number one team in the nation, you almost double them up on points. You embarrass them on national television. Absolutely. Kirby needs to be fired. No, that's not true. Yeah, let's be careful with the profanity and all the other stuff like that, guys. The Sparky Show says, "Bah ha 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 ha, Roll Tide." I told at Big Dog Brett last week he better be careful talking smack about Bama. Never bet against Bama Saban. Yeah, whatever. BGPO says, I take Bama on the money line. Thanks for a super chat, sir. Much appreciated. Bama just has our number. Apparently, I would tend to agree with that. This particular game, Georgia should have been much better prepared than what we see. Can't say Georgia's overrated when they held everybody to 6.9 points per game throughout the entire season. That is an indication of repeated performance. Overrated would be having a hit or miss schedule and then be ranked highly and then get blown out, like you saw with Oregon. That is what overrated is, sir. I know why Saban was so happy after winning the 4th overtime game with Auburn. He knew he got Kirby in the pocket. You know what? Some of us wonder. Brett talking smack wasn't the reason UGA lost this game. That is correct. Bama is elite and Georgia is just great. I would say Georgia's an elite team. I would still say Georgia's an elite team. Kirby can't win the big game. That certainly is appearing to be so, but he's winning bigger games than what Mark Richt did, and there's really no other quarterback. There's really no other coach out there you could get that would do better than what Kirby Smart is doing right now. Kirby can't see what an elite quarterback is. I 100% agree. Alabama will be number one, no doubt about it. When elite athletes meet well prepared, I lost it. It spanned. When elite athletes meet well prepared elite athletes, correct. I appreciate you. Georgia is elite. Thank you, sir. I don't know why Kirby gets a pass. Mark Richt done the same thing. Well, there's a lot to be said for look at the direction that Georgia has taken the team in the recruiting level and a lot of other things. Why is Daniels not starting? I have no idea. They say he doesn't look good in practice, but to me, it looks like he's just waiting to transfer. Big Dog Bread, I have nothing but respect for you and your channel. That being the ultimate dog and being that ultimate dog fan, I wait, I see Uncle Lou. He's been digging my tide for the last 4 weeks. Well, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, a lot of people get up here and they say a lot of things about, Georgia Georgia is overrated or Georgia choked or whatever. And you know, you never see these guys until you see them once or twice a season, and you see them when their team wins. And so it's kind of hilarious. It's like, yeah, as I put myself out here on the line every single week, I'm exposing myself to the litany of the trolls that's out there. So I mean, it doesn't bother me. Georgia plays soft teams, can't win against a big team. We played the same teams. Played about half of our SEC schedule was the same as Alabama's schedule, and we destroyed them. I think Georgia's defense just had a terrible night tonight. 10-0 stop. I don't know what he's talking about. Big Dog the best. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. I swear Bama fans are the most toxic and cocky of all college football. There's a lot of Bama fans out there that are just Alabama fans. They don't know anything about the team. They just Alabama wins a lot, so they support them. That was a big problem with the Chicago Bulls fans back in the day when Pippen and Rodman and Jordan were all on the same team at the same time. Everybody was a Bulls fan. They couldn't tell you who the head coach was. They could tell you those three players. When is Lou gonna cry? I don't know, dude. I got so upset. This is the first time I've ever gotten so upset that I've actually shut the game off. I got that mad. I had to get up and leave. I went and started cleaning up my bedroom. I had enough. Just had enough. I love your channel. I'm a Bama fan, but also love the dogs also. I appreciate that, Pastor Dave. Pastor Dave been a resident member of Sports Channel, been a member of the Big Dog Brett channel for quite a while now. We really appreciate him. Ovo O AKG. He's really excited that Georgia lost. Philip the Great House says, y'all puppy fans talk too much. Roll MF Tide. And that's the first time I've heard of him, but yet he's going to make a comment that says people talk too much. By making the comment that people talk too much, you have just talked too much. You can't win every game, man. Georgia has an elite defense, but your quarterback is not to blame for this game. It's Georgia's offensive identity. There's a lot of problems. There is certainly a lot of problems. Big Dog Brett, Cincinnati winning the championship. I don't know about that. How do you think the playoff rankings will look if Michigan wins or loses? I don't know, but probably what's going to happen is Alabama's going to be ranked number 2. Georgia will probably move to number 3 just because they won't move Georgia to number 4. They won't move Georgia to number 4 because they don't want Georgia and Alabama to play back-to-back in the college football playoff. So they'll make Georgia number 3. Cincinnati will probably be number 2. Michigan will probably be number 4. And if they don't win, then I don't know. Maybe Baylor. Hard to say. Not Baylor. What's that other team? Bama or Michigan going to win the Natty? Probably not. Big Dog, do you think Kirby watched the LSU film? Probably not. Based on what I saw tonight, no. Alabama did whatever it is they wanted to do. They had over 500 yards of total offense, almost 550 yards of total offense. Georgia had 450 yards of total offense. Georgia's offense on paper looked to be better than what we saw on the field. Vast majority of that was helped out by Brock Bowers. Landon Gosling, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says the thing is Georgia has real fans. Bama is 70% bandwagon. There may be some truth to that, sir. There's about 400 of you guys in here. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me. Much appreciated. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I'm simulcasting on 3 channels. 1, Big Dog Brett. Number 1, the College SEC Voice of College Football and the Voice of College Football Georgia channel and Big Dog Brett. Brett, how are you this calm? Because this ain't the first time this has happened. I'm kind of used to it at this point. My wife, she gets excited. She cooks all this food, and we sit down and we watch the game, and then all of a sudden, just everything goes to what in a hurry. So yeah, a lot of you guys in there over 400 right now. So I apologize if I don't get to your comment, guys. About the easiest way to get to a comment, honestly, is if it pops up as a super chat, because then it's illuminated. I can see it faster when all this stuff's scrolling by. But go ahead and subscribe to the channels if you would. Mark Rogers TV, great channel, a lot of stuff there. Lou is silent right now, kind of worried. Oh, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make a video. But I will tell you, I mean, just to be perfectly honest, while we wanted to win this game, we didn't have to win this game. Alabama had to win this game, or at least play it very close. Came out well prepared. they did an outstanding job. So I mean, you can't really hold that against them. Georgia just didn't do what they needed to do. Again, disappointing loss. But looking on the bright side, we're still in playoffs. I agree. Hashtag blame us, champ. Thanks for the super chat, Mr. Miller. Appreciate that. Bama will be the number 1 seed for sure. Whether he called timeout or not wouldn't have mattered. Our offense couldn't get on the field enough. Expecting Georgia to score as many points in the last 5 minutes of the game as we scored all game is pretty unreasonable. We're just not going to get it done. Great game, Bama fan, but definitely don't want to play them again. Georgia had a bad game plan to deal with Alabama. I agree, and I don't know how we did. Pastor Dave said Georgia will win the Natty. Boy, I wish I had your kind of confidence. This should have been a blowout. Like, I realistically thought that the game would be around 17 to 20 points, and I even put 20 just to give them a benefit of the doubt because I expected Georgia to be able to get better pressure on the quarterback. We got zero pressure on that quarterback. I don't know how in the world that happened. I mean, Alabama only scored 10 points against Auburn, but they scored 40-something points against Georgia. What an embarrassment. Landon Goslin, thank you for super chat, sir. Appreciate that. He says, kind of off topic, but what do you think about Florida's Bill Napier hire? I think that's a solid hire. Bill Napier is a really good guy. He's got a good winning record, good winning percentage. That program needs somebody who's stable, who's not so flamboyant, and can get it grounded and start recruiting again. And he does a pretty good job in the recruiting aspect. So I think it's a good hire. Nick Smart again, right? Apparently you are correct, sir. You guys do play the competition. TikTok says I'm sick, man, just sick. Again, Georgia didn't have to win this game. We wanted to win this game. Alabama had to win this game. Bennett is not good. I agree. I mean, asking Stetson Bennett to throw the ball twice as much in one game as he normally throws is pretty unreasonable. Why can't Kirby get it done against Nick? Almost nobody can. So I mean, it's not just Kirby. It just feels that way because you're a Georgia fan. We will not win a ship with this guy. Probably accurate. Stetson Bennett is who we all truly know he is. That is correct, Surfer Boy. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, I've said multiple times that Stetson Bennett absolutely is not an elite quarterback, and it's not likely he's going to win it. He's a great story. I mean, the from Georgia, the walk on, the leave to go win a national championship at a JUCO, and then come back to Georgia and get a scholarship and then win the starting job or whatever. It's a great story. But if it doesn't end with a national championship, it's a waste of everybody else's energy and time. You're costing you by putting Stetson Bennett in the game. You are costing Georgia fans a national championship. That's what you're doing. Nick Smart will say he gives us the best chance to win. Apparently not. How would you know? You don't play the other guy. So how would you know? How would you know? You don't play him. Kirby left the defense in Athens. That's probably true too. Choked again. No, choking means we'd have to be winning enough at some point to sustain a lead to say we choked, sir. We didn't ever get that far. I think JT checked out already too, as well, Kevin Drummer, because if you look at him on the sideline, he really doesn't like he cares. He's just like, whatever, dude. He was like, you're not going to play me. I'm not really going to be that invested. Justin Fields, now JT. First Justin Fields, now JT Daniels. Correct. Oh, of course I'm going to say that, man. I mean, geez, dude. And if our defense would have played properly, it probably would have happened. We gave you guys way too much time with the ball. Stetson Bennett. Somebody, hold on. What was that? Stetson Bennett. Stetson has been the second highest scoring quarterback for Alabama 2 years in a row. Are you saying that he scored more points against Alabama than anybody else 2 years in a row? Or that we've allowed you guys to score the most points when we have him as quarterback? Right? DQ goes, he said UGA thought they would win like Alabama thought they would lose. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, Don Stan said, if you guys are tired of Stetson Bennett giving to us at Florida, we'll take anything. Does Calzada not exist? I guess not, dude. I mean, Alabama went out there and played lights out. There's no doubt about it. They played start to finish. Defense played well. I think they sacked Stetson Bennett twice, threw 2 interceptions. What in the world? What's up, Michael Hogue? Brett, you was saying we had no change. How's it feel now? Well, I don't speak that, so I don't know what you're saying, but I guess what you mean is that first of all, over here where my name is, it says Brett, Brett. So yeah, you can't spell that. You was saying, and it should be you were saying, we had no change, and that should say chance, and there should be some type of punctuation in here. How's there should be some more punctuation there. How's it feel now? Question mark. I mean, what do you mean? How's it feel? We lost a game. It's the first game we lost all season. I mean, very few teams go undefeated. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that time that Alabama lost to Auburn, didn't get in the SEC championship, and Georgia won the SEC championship, and then you guys play us for the Natty. And even though we won the SEC championship, it didn't matter because you guys won the national championship. It kind of feels like that. Because if Georgia goes out there and wins that, it doesn't matter that you guys won the SEC. Because the Natty is what we're after. So, yeah, you won the game. Congratulations. But I will tell you that, Georgia learned a lot from playing in this game. And the defense can plan accordingly. It's highly unlikely because once Georgia made the adjustment after the second quarter, you guys only scored 17 more points the whole game. So, both teams learned a lot from playing each other. It'll be a better game next time. What do you say? Big dog Brett with tail between his legs. Dude, if that was the case, would I be on here? Jeez, do you people think before you type sometimes? Come on, man. Brett, tell the wife to change the menu next year. She did, man. She changes it all the time. Yeah, no one wants to watch Bama beat Georgia again. Yeah, especially Georgia fans. John Mike is still on this click, dude. It's like Bama exposed that overrated defense. Except that Georgia's quote-unquote overrated defense is the same – played for the same teams you guys played and held them to lower numbers, so that doesn't mean Georgia's defense was underrated. It just means Georgia's defense had a bad night. Jeez, dude. Wanted to fly my Georgia flag and fly, dude, because you're going to find out we're still going to be in the championship. Who is this Brett clown? Go check out my channel, dude. You'll figure out who I am pretty quick. Prediction and plays in Georgia versus Michigan. Appreciate the super chat, sir. And Cincinnati versus Bama. Go Cincinnati, right? Right. Bad night. Hey, man, it's college football. We're still in it, so you can't be too upset. Bryce Young looked like a mobile Tom Brady, didn't he, though? Guy was playing out of his mind. Stetson Bennett gives me Jared Guantanamo vibes. Ain't that right? No excuse. Georgia defense have gotten exposed tonight. I wouldn't say exposed. I said they just had a bad night. That happens to everybody, dude. Stetson isn't to blame. The greatest defense of all time didn't show up. Stetson is to blame, partly. Well, when you throw a pick six, that's on you, cuz. So, that's just the way that is. I don't know, Sean. I don't know why Stetson's a starter over JT Daniels unless he just doesn't want to play because he's clearly better. You're exposed, buddy. Admit it. Do you know what exposed means? Exposed means that it was a sham all along and somebody figured it out. But you can't say it was a sham all along if you guys played the same teams we did and you fared worse than we did. That means we did better than you did against the same opponent. Golly, man. Struggling. If you want to say, hey, Georgia got the crap beat out of them by Alabama, absolutely we did. Hats off to Alabama for doing it. They did their job. Do you think this is the first time I've seen Georgia lose to an Alabama team? Come on, man. But we beat y'all. Just because you beat a team doesn't mean that our defense is bad. That's not what that means. Spencer Rattler transferred to Georgia. Here's the statement of the night. I wish people would stop hyping Stetson like he's a good quarterback. So I made a video talking about how I was unhappy with Stetson Bennett and I didn't want him. And there was like 30 people that unsubscribed to me because of it. And I just got to be honest with you. Stetson Bennett is a good quarterback. He's just not elite. Just not elite. Boy, see, this right here is why people laugh at Alabama fans. We exposed y'all's defense. No, you didn't expose our defense. Our defense had a bad night. That happens. Would you say that Auburn exposed Alabama's offense because you guys only scored 10 points against them? Obviously not, because you came out and scored 41. So it just means you had a bad game. Do I think Georgia will beat Michigan? We should. We should have beat Alabama, but, I mean, it just depends. I had told people that Georgia kept starting Stetson at QB. They're not going to beat Bama at the championship, and I was going to come and hunt Georgia. Come back to haunt Georgia, I think is what he meant to say. But, yeah, you're right. Even after I lost Georgia greater than Incest State U. Oh, that's cold-blooded. Oh, man, that's cold-blooded. Stetson Bennett is Jake Fromm. That is correct. Pastor Dave, who's a big Alabama fan, says Georgia has an elite defense. No doubt that defense will win a natty. Yep, it certainly can. I pray every night that I never see Stetson take another snap. I'm with you on that. Bruh, your secondary got exposed. Just say it. Imagine what a Cincy can do to that secondary if they block up front. Imagine if my grandma had tires, 2 tires. She'd be a bicycle. Just imagine, a bicycle. You Anonymous. I can tell you right now, if you've been around my channel for a while, I have given Alabama tons of credit, sir. Vandy Bauta, whatever. This is a statement of the night. Hold on. Where's it at? I'm not a cocky Bama fan. I'm realistic. Any team can have an off night. JT Daniels is a better quarterback. And you know what? When you read that at first, you're like, wait a minute, that guy's trolling. And then you go, well, no, wait a minute, that guy's being realistic. He's absolutely right. There are some Bama fans that are pretty cool, and there are some Bama fans that just want to say, "Oh, you guys are terrible. I just want to watch a Georgia fan crying his coffee or crying his beer." Hey, dude, this is not the first time I've lost to Alabama. This is not the first time most teams have lost to Alabama. So, I mean, what are you getting after? Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. USC Gamecock fan. I know there's not a Gamecock fan here talking smack. Come on now. Man, the chat is going by so fast. It's so hard to read all this stuff. Somebody said I effing hate Kirby. That's cold-blooded. Bulldogs got neutered today. Mac Jones wasn't mobile either. That is true. I'm an LSU fan. Y'all will play Bama again and win. I feel y'all didn't blitz enough. I completely agree. LSU was after him 100%. Alabama made a transition apparently at the left tackle position, and they really focused on how to slow down Jordan Davis. They kind of made him a non-factor. They also focused on making James Cook a non-factor too. So they did a really good job. Pick 6 for one was bad. Yep. Oh, we just saw the first 4 quarters of this year's national championship. Great game, bud. Nah. Yeah, this right here, that was part of the problem. I'm going to hold this one here. Do I think Georgia remain in the top 4? Yes. So sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Jordan Davis got tired too fast. That is absolutely true. They decided to go hurry up offense, and for whatever reason, Georgia wasn't prepared. They tired the big guy out, and I mean, I don't know why he was so apparently out of shape, but apparently he was. One of the big problems we had is that Georgia was giving the Alabama receivers way too much cushion. And when you got guys like Mechie and Jameson Williams, you can't do that. You just can't. Commentators loved him some Stetson Bennett, boy, didn't they? Boy, they kept talking about how good Stetson was. That's because they wanted him to stay in the game. Georgia getting smacked around, but let's keep Stetson Bennett in there. Yeah, yeah, I did say this, and you are right. They were a better team tonight. Georgia a solid number 3 if Michigan wins. Yep. People who say quarterback isn't at fault whenever they give up 40 points, but turnovers contributed to that. That is correct. Lewis losing his mind right now for sure. Oh, I'm sure he might have had a heart attack. Pate Production says Georgia doing Clemson things. There's some truth in that, man. Georgia fans stop writing checks when the funds aren't available in your bank account. Kirby's still on Bama's payroll. Apparently, man. I mean, I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand why in the world you would play a Stetson Bennett whenever you have the talent you have on the field. I will say I think Alabama did a great job of stopping the run game. Both teams are pretty even with the rush, 109 to 115. Passing was, kind of close to within 80 yards of one another when you're considering one's at 340 and the other's at 421. I'm really curious as to what Kirby Smart's going to say in his press conference. But yeah. Stetson did not play bad. Harold. Bruh. He threw for like less than 60%. Like, I mean, it was not good. Let me pull this up. Yeah, threw for 60.4%. That is not elite. And when you're playing an elite team, you need to have some elite stats. You need it. You need it. Oh, Bryce Young is definitely a better quarterback. There's no doubt about that. Giving these guys too much cushion, too many blown assignments, like massively blown assignments. There were multiple times whenever you would see a Alabama receiver and nobody even in the same zip code he was in just started running for touchdowns. It was crazy. Booty Sniper says Kirby is seriously suspect at best. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. There was plenty of time and opportunity for Georgia to get JT Daniels in the game. There was time to get him prepared for this game. And a lot of people have been saying all along that Georgia needed an elite quarterback. When you can only score 24 points, but your competition almost doubles you up, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. You got to be able to play offense too. Yeah, Georgia only have 4.4 yards of carry. Yeah, they got to address that. There's a lot of stuff they got to address. K Money says fire Kirby Smart. No, you're crazy. Horrible pass coverage by the Dogs. Yes, and that's part of Dan Lanning, but that's also part of Kirby Smart for not reviewing the game plan. I met Stetson after a game. He said he purposely played bad. Ram Dog, appreciate the super chat, sir. He says no natty with Bennett, period. That is probably accurate unless something changes. Ringo is a redshirt freshman. Blame Kendrick, Scene, and Chris Smith. No, blame the play calling. Blame the play calling. How is this an off game, but UGA haven't? Hold on. How is this an off game, but UGA hadn't had one all year? I think that's what defines it as being an off game is because you didn't play like this all year. That's the definition of an off game. Robert Harris said, hit the like button, peeps. Appreciate that. Silly Georgia. Tricks are for kids. Well, no tricks tonight. Wasn't no treats neither. Play calling was bad. Alabama had our number on defense for sure. UJ don't deserve a playoff spot. We are overrated. Don't deserve it. Kirby keeps playing average quarterbacks. We lose. No clue why 5-star QBs come here because they don't get to play. I agree. Hey, big dog. All that loudmouth Georgia fans are on milk cartons and eating crow stew. Georgia's still a good team. We'll most likely see UG again. Yes. You probably will see us again. People thought Georgia by 30. A lot of people did. Here's the truth of it. Nick Smart pat Stetson on the helmet after screwing up. Talk about reinforcing bad behavior. What should have been happening is after the first half, he should have been snatched out of the game. That's what should have happened. Elite players does not equal natties. Great coaching does. Let that sink in. I want you to name one national championship in the last 5 years that does not have at least five-star players on it. And probably 15 4-stars. Name one. Because you can't. Because it matters. You got to have the talent. I don't care how good you are. If you don't have talent, I don't care how good a coach you are. If you don't have talent, you ain't going to do well. That's just the way that goes. If Nick Saban tomorrow went to Vanderbilt, I guarantee you they will not be in a national championship come next month, or next season, excuse me. We can't beat Valdosta State with Stetson as quarterback. Maybe some truth. Kirby is a Sabanite. That may be true too, apparently. Auburn 2010. What are you talking about, Auburn 2010? JT Daniels is going to transfer to Valdosta State if they keep this up, man. Absolutely crazy. Defensive scheme lost the game. Yep. Dennis Bryant said, I like your channel so much it hurts me to see Georgia lose. I appreciate that, Dennis. It's tough to get on here, man, after you take a beating like that. But, I mean, it's part of it. It's part of it. Although Brock Bowers was fired. Brock Bowers was killing it. I think he set a record, too. Butch Jones of UGA. Yeah, heck no. Heck no. Bulldogs defense was rated number 1 because the East was weak. Kentucky came in second. The West was even down. Alabama showed the world the Bulldogs was overrated. No. Well, we played 4 of the same teams and we beat them better than you guys did. So you can't say UGA is overrated. That lends more to the credibility of that this was just an off game. Roll Tide, that was stomping a mud hole. I would say it is. If I was in Washington, should each get 8 touchdowns a game. Yep. You guys played with heart, and there's still a chance. Yeah. Dwayne Fenderson said, Brett, you are a good sport, though. You have to be. I mean, you'll get up here and run your mouth. You got to get up here and own it when you lose, too. Mike and them. I'm a Hogs fan. I enjoy your content and have been rooting for the Dogs since we played y'all. I'm shocked. Yeah, a lot of people are. At Big Dog Brett, SEC Championship 2012. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Bama is just a better. I can't read it. It scrolls by so fast. Quit using your sorry player, Kirby. I don't know what you mean, sir. UGA needs a new OC. Now, the OC's fine. It's the defense. We got Dan Lanning as a defensive coordinator who's been doing really well up to this point. But they just had a bad scheme. They had a bad play call and had a bad night. I mean, it happens. I don't think Georgia had an off game. Just Alabama was sick of hearing that they didn't have no chance. That don't even make no sense, dude. My hope, 2017, we get beat down by Auburn. Come back and crush them. Please let us make the playoff. We'll make the playoff. I mean, who else are you going to say there's better than Georgia? Nobody. Hold on. I meant to click on this. I hope Stetson Bennett comes back next year. What a hell of a quarterback. Homegrown Cowboy says excuses. It's not excuses, sir. I just told you Alabama was a better team. I mean, I don't know what else you want to hear. There's a difference. There's a big difference between making excuses and saying, oh, you know, our team, well, we have to excuse this entire performance because we were missing 9 of our starters. That's an excuse. Saying that our team didn't do as well as we would have done had we have had our 9 starters is defining what's going on. There's a difference. I'll probably say Alabama 1, Cincinnati 2, Georgia 3, Michigan 4. Be my guess. Alabama's just a better team. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Everyone was on Georgia excuses. That comment doesn't even make sense, sir. JW says cry. Why am I crying? Why would I cry? We're still going to be in the college football playoffs. Why would I cry? How did Bama lose to Texas A&M? I don't know. 2-star quarterback. Hold on. After today, Stetson was Alabama's player of the game. That's part of it, but I mean, the whole team lost, but the defense certainly didn't do its job. Same can be said for Ohio State, sir. Same can be said for Clemson. Well, I think Clemson won one in the last 4 years. Kirby can't beat Saban. He wants the Bama job. Auburn 2010 only had one 5-star player, Brett. Ooh. Yeah, that was over a decade ago, sir. I said in the last 5 years. Do your homework, sir. Or at least listen. Stetson has the arm strength of a 2-year-old. Georgia got out-coached. That's a fact. Georgia admit ass kicked by Tide. No excuse. Back yourself in the back door. Sir, can you describe at your saying Homegrown Country Boy says, here's a beer, bro. I appreciate that, sir. That will probably buy me more than one beer, which I'm going to need after today's bludgeoning. Georgia can't beat Cincinnati in the first game of playoffs. Yeah, that may be true. If we play like that, we certainly won't. I tell you, Jay gets a better quarterback, they will never win. Kirby Gamble with a walk-on. Yep. We have four better quarterbacks sitting on the bench that we're not using. So, yeah. Stetson Bennett is not it. Kirby Smart needs to realize that. I agree with you, Chad, but not a whole lot you can do to get him to convince that. Hold on. Judah Rifkin says, hold on. He says, your stutter sounds like Georgia playing. That comment wins it for tonight. That's the winning comment right there. How good is Cincinnati? I don't know. We'll see. So all these people in here say Georgia won't beat Cincinnati, Georgia won't beat Michigan. That's the same thing everybody was saying about Alabama versus Georgia. Defense sus. Do a collar with Uncle Lou, Brett. I think you mean a call in collaboration. I got you. I've done some stuff with him before in the past. He's a good dude. Almost every play on defense had face masks in the front seven. That doesn't surprise me. Georgia D-line got gas chasing the athletes side to side. Yeah, that's probably true too. Cut some of the nonsense out. After today, Stetson deserves the Heisman. What a game. Oh, man. UGA secondary is trash. Cincinnati will embarrass y'all. Well, maybe. Georgia, Michigan, if it happens, it will be epic. Ooh, that would be a good game. That would be a good game. If I was a TV in Lou's house, I'd warranty myself. Oh, defense got torched for 41, no doubt. But you know, 7 of those points came from a pick six, and the rest of them is not just that. But Stetson Bennett's throwing interceptions. That is not going to help our defense. Auburn has beat Bama twice in the last 5 years. Lost to Bama 4 overtimes by 2 points. Yep. Georgia will probably drop to 3. If for no other reason that they're not going to have Georgia play Alabama back to back. Nobody would want to watch it. They would want either Alabama to lose and then Georgia play another team in the Natty, or if Georgia and Alabama play for the national championship, you know, then people probably watch it again. But watch it back to back, you know, I don't know. You got to keep in mind there's also going to be a pretty good sized break here where Georgia gets to study all the tape and all this other stuff on Alabama. So if we end up playing them again, it'll probably be a closer game. I'm curious as to why Pickens didn't get more targets, because Pickens is a downfield threat. He's a deep threat, and you have to have a guy who can throw the ball deep to utilize him. And since, you know, Stetson Bennett doesn't have that strong an arm, it's difficult to utilize him very deep. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and the like and subscribe button, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to Big Dog Brett. Subscribe to the Voice of College Football, the Georgia channel, the Voice of College Football, the SEC channel, and Mark Rogers TV. You can find all 3 of those channels over there. Well, 2 of those channels over there. Bro Stetson gets more advice from JT Daniels than he does from the coaching staff. Yeah, that's probably true too. I'm glad I subscribed to this channel. Which one did you subscribe to, David? Make sure you subscribe to all three. Can't wait to hear Uncle Lou say this game was meaningless because UGA is going to make the playoffs anyways. Throw it up. I don't know what that means. How do you feel going forward as a dog? I'm fine. I mean, I'm obviously going to be a Georgia fan whether we win, lose, or tie. Brett, do you think the refs called the game more fairly than usual or no? I think it was pretty fair. There was a couple of times that I think it kind of ticky-tack calls, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty fair. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any real game-changing, upsetting decisions that were made. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between Georgia and Cincinnati. That was a good game. Fire Kirby Smart, the fact we had 10 NFL potential. Yeah, a lot of people's on that train too. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it for the post game. I mean, Alabama, beats Georgia like a drum. But most likely we'll be seeing Alabama again if they continue to win and Georgia continues to win. So let's get rid of that. But yeah, homegrown Cowboy says I can't drive home. But get yourself an Uber, sir. We're going to go ahead and call it a night, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys soon. We'll be making more videos soon. You guys have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.